I was introduced to Jason Meyer through Rhonda Longsharp Gallery in Indianapolis. Was looking at his work and understanding that the process of his paintings is also a layering process. So it was almost like a match made in heaven as far as what I do with silkscreen.
When I first learned about Gary and his history of working with silkscreen, I really wasn't too interested in just making a reproduction of another piece of art. What I was really excited about doing was utilizing all of his knowledge about the process and create original pieces very similar to my painting process.
Let's run that screen in just 2 colors on all of them. So, one set gold and one set silver. Boom. One set is gold, one set is silver, but every one of them is different. You know,
which is very interesting.
Right. And we were taking one screen, changing the color on that screen 3 or 4 times, so we were splitting the prints up into their own, direction. And it was, during that phase, that middle phase, where I really did not know where they were going.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think each of these have at least 10, minimum 10 screens so far on 30 pieces. We're combining so many different screens, colors, and orders of those, but it's slowly unraveling. So, which is nice because that sort of lends to the uniqueness of them all.
My job was sort of to come up with the format of what we were going to make. Honestly, I know so little about the process of silkscreen printing that I couldn't really prepare much for what was going to happen. So I came up with an image to shoot towards. I got a little bit into making layers and trying to determine what things I would use. And then, in all honesty, when the project started, it definitely took on a life of its own. The flexibility of the medium is really what took me by surprise. I expected it to be far more controlled, fitting the idea into the system of the process. We started with the idea and then it just went in any direction that we wanted it to. Every part of the process is a lot more flexible than I had originally expected it to be.
Yeah, with these, there's a lot of content now in the background, but they're all sort of finding their way back to each other.
Right.
With those last 2 screens.
You put some interesting stuff on today. Over the years, I've worked with a couple of artists where we've introduced to each other the idea that let's just take a road trip and see where we end up. But it's been a long time and incredibly rewarding and refreshing and, all of the above. I'd do it any day of the week.